Alright, greetings to all the galactic starseeds out there. Welcome to the Quantum Cafe once again and lounge as we teleport and time warp to all sorts of different locations and have a multitude of interstellar insights and navigating and working through these new multi-dimensionary realities, as well as just realizing that this is a multi-dimensional, interdimensional experience. So throughout, and I am the cosmic messenger. Sat Nam, everyone. There is so many downloads and so much happening. So these videos are here to assist you and bring in insights and wonderful information. Hopefully that translates into your own personal wisdoms as you navigate your inner realities to create your outer multiverse. So I've made a few videos this far, but one that I would like to go with is myself. Who am I? Where do I come from? And what am I doing here? And how did I come to be in the place that I am today? So, let's start with the beginnings of my wild stories. First off, I'm located on Vancouver Island, and I'm having a wild time, but I grew up in Saskatchewan, in Canada, right in the middle. Prairie boy, dead center of the hot sun and the super cold winters. So, where to begin? So, when I was a young boy, my first kind of hinklings and moments that this was an outside of the box multi-dimensionary reality, or that I see things a little bit different than most do at this particular time, or that something was happening, was when I was about 6 or 7 years old. So I'd be at school, we'd have our break time, we'd be outside playing, and quite often, for a longer period of time, quantum moment, I would speak directly to the sun, asking it for guidance, patience, to work with me as I grow, and to give me power and insights, almost like talking directly to your solar plexus, or between your hara and your diaphragm chakra, for those who know what that is, your galactic fifth dimensional chakra system as well. The two are linked. So I'd have long conversations with the sun, and I at the moment I loved them, but quite later on I realized their potency, and that I was always doing something a little bit extraordinary, celestial, interstellar, stuff like that. So that was my first kind of taste of it. Then, the normal upbringing, all the programming, all the patterns, everything was beamed down upon me. I grew up in a stable, nice, loving family, but things were definitely on a linear train, following what most would say is the program. And when I was 16, I remember the exact day. It was in the first semester while I was in high school. And basically, I just kind of woke up one day. And I said to myself, and I was just kind of, following along with what everybody else was doing. And I realized that I wanted to take some of my power back, which was self-confidence. Now, I had some before, but we're talking like a massive jolt of it. So in came the massive jolt, and I had, I guess, my first awakening moment. Didn't even quite realize it at the time, but it felt really good. So I dyed my hair, got some piercings, changed all my clothing, and realized that I did not no longer want to participate in the regular system. So I found all sorts of fun and unique ways to go about that. You start thrift shopping, or you're trading things, clothing swaps, finding some psychedelic clothing, stuff like that. It was quite far out there stuff. So if I wanted to dress up one day and be wild, I just went for it. And it didn't matter what anybody thought of me anymore. I'm doing exactly how I want to express myself, which also was a big jolt in having a whole bunch of wild, fantastical music come my way, and some very alternative cult films, and it just kept getting more and more underground, getting to the core source of where punk really truly came from. That's a whole nother topic in itself. So I had all these wild mystical experiences happening. My whole field is changing completely. So I kind of went through that. Then I discovered raves. Somebody's grabbed me, dragged me in, threw me there. I didn't even know how to dance. You don't really know how to dance. You just express yourself. But for that first while being in public, it just opened me right up. It took many months for this to unfold. But my taste buds were just activated. and I found a little bit of a home to take care of me for the next few years. So that was a very, very interesting experience. Opened me wide open. Then I started to express myself creatively through a bunch of different artistic mediums. I did some painting exhibitions, quite a bit of them actually. We did multimedia shows, projections on the outside of buildings, experimental art. But also, there was always a little bit of a spiritual tinge to it, which that I didn't realize was there also till a little after that point. So I participated in, like, shedding my skin and opening all of these masks and, like, releasing a huge part of who I truly am inside. Basically, I became a wild man, and it was fun traveling around, going on mini vision quests that I kind of initiated for myself. Whoa, this is wild, right? So, planted a whole bunch of seeds, ended up in New Mexico for a wild vision quest, ended up in Japan because I've always wanted to go there. Those two relate to down the road. So after that happened, I hit my Saturn returns, and Saturn does a full cycle in your birth chart, astrology, and comes back to the very place it started at when you are very close to 29 years old, and then it's a period, so 28 and a half to maybe 31 and a half, and those are big moments. You'll have multiples in your life when they occur. Basically, you're probably going to go through 3 of them. They're humongous. The second one's when you kind of become an elder. So that busted me wide open. I basically, rent was going up like crazy, all these wild times were happening, and I was just like flopping all over the place, working part-time, loved it. And I kind of tucked myself into a friend's pad for a while. Got rid of most of my stuff, fit almost everything into a bedroom, other than the music gear. I played in a band too, did some DJing, all that fine stuff. It was a wild, fun time. So I did that. Meanwhile, while that's going on, I met twin flame, we'll call it. Maybe it was a soulmate, but it was a spiritual experience. So meeting somebody that I was able to do a long-term dance with, being married with in some form, fashion, tasting that out, living with them as close as you can possibly be for 7 years. Now this person introduced me to a whole wild amount of metaphysicality in every form that it comes in. So this was dynamic explosion. And how all these ones intertwined, it took many years for me to fully understand that, where that came from, and how they interconnected, and how you can heal yourself, and all that fun stuff. So the very first stuff that came my way was a massive dose of astrology. It took me a while to kind of get into it and understand it, because it was 5 years into the relationship before some of it even started to really make sense to me. But as I watched it being acted out in the fields, then I realized that this is some very potent medicine for navigating what's going on throughout every solar cycle that we do. So I got a massive dose of astrology. She's a birth chart reader, no problem with that, an astrologer. And then after that, she also worked at a metaphysical bookstore. So I learned about Aura-Soma, which is color therapy with these magical potions. Look that one up. That is extremely powerful medicine. Some of the best that the planet has to offer, by the way. Comes out of the UK. And then after that, I also learned about affirmations and sound healing as well, too. So all these different modalities were coming from all over the place. Like, here's Palo Santo, check it out. Here's what smoke does in a room, things like that. It was just coming from all over the place. But as time passed, as these quantum moments went, it kind of just all did this dance and then integrated itself into a cohesive whole. Busted my heart center wide open. We did this dance. You go to hell and back with somebody, and you never know where it's going to spit you out on the other end. But it always works out for your best outcome, because we chose these things before we were born to have them play out. So we do this massive dance. Now, we're having a wild time learning all about metaphysical stuff, and I'm just diving into it. I didn't even read much, and now I'm hooked. Metaphysical book, this and that. I see through the New Age stuff. I don't mean the New Age of Aquarius that we're coming into, but there is a big difference between high-frequency work of the finer vibrations and just kind of like going in there a little bit because you find it fascinating and doing the serious work. So I just dove in and did some serious work, which was interesting. It kind of started to go in 2012. I had a whole bunch of friends, all these things around me, all sorts of stuff going on, big communities, and then poof, it all kind of blew up. My frequencies changed, and I recalibrated them. During that time, that you're recalibrating, you may move somewhere new, as I've said before, and also have an entire new set of relationships enter your life to match where you actually are at. I was always a wild man, way outside of the box. Far. I go pretty far. As far as we can possibly take it. So, throughout this whole entire time that I was young, I had ear tones, ringing, sound, audio experiences, visualizations, and a lot of lights flashing, as well as different muscle spasms, which were actually different than what most people have. They were messages inside of my body to help me navigate as I'm going through my metaphysical experiences. So, then I get a gift. I'm going to Reiki. What the heck is Reiki? Remember I went to Japan before? Reiki is from Japan. Original source is where it got transmitted from. So it's planted a seed from before. I went to New Mexico too. We'll bring that one up in a little bit. By the way, the person that I was with at the time is a Kundalini yoga instructor trained. Okay? So, here we go. So I get Reiki done. And then I realized, whoa, I'd always seen particles, fractals, enjoyed the psychedelia. Now this is for real. This is all energy. This is all vibrations. And the universe is made from sound, light codes, and energy waves. And there is no getting around it. And it cleaned me right out. It challenged every fiber inside of my body. And that's when the DNA mutations started to happen and these new templates were being laid in. Nighttime, during the day, all sorts of wild things are happening. So I get this gift, but then we connected. It's like I had done it before. So then after that, I went and took my level 2, which is for distance that we're working with here. And I'm just doing sessions and treatments on anybody who kind of comes to me. I don't force it. I'm not out there advertising myself like crazy, though I'm on this video. But if you need the service and you're localized, then you can come to me and we can do a rad session. So spirit guides start showing up. Whoa. Then I get messages about my ear tones and realizing they're relating to the Pleiades. Because I had lots of different stuff. The books by Barbara Marciniak, the Pleiadian books, absolutely changed my entire field. It also showed me that this matrix we're living in, the current economic system and these agreements and laws, these Saturnian ways that we're working with, are extremely potent. And they work really well, but they are distorted. Massively distorted. And that's a whole nother video that I may go into down the road as well, too. So those books kind of open up my eyes, and I realize there's some serious, intense stuff going on. So I do this big purge. Brand names, collecting too much stuff, getting rid of anything that doesn't have high vibrational energetics to it. All these crystals are coming in. I had lived with some before, but like my own collection, my own medicines, they start coming my way. All right, what else do I have on my list? The big story here. So then my entire field of foods changed. Now, I always enjoyed healthy foods, but what does that really mean? And it's different for every person. But lots of spices were coming in. Lots of clean, reverse osmosis water. It'd be nice if we could just collect it naturally and not have to go through that process. Tons of vegetables. High vibrational ones, not just thinking this is the real deal because it's written on the package, and I'm going through everything and recalibrating my whole body. So it challenged me and showed me exactly where I need to go. So I'm working on the food thing, and that's all going down. And then Standing Rock hits in North Dakota. That was a major intense event. Standing Rock 2016. I'm following it head to toe. I lay on the ground in the middle of it getting really chaotic. If you don't know what Standing Rock is, go check it out. It's a powerful movement that awakened all of our ancestral wisdoms within the planet on a whole nother level and connect us in a very much unique tribal sense. The Aboriginal North American connection and beyond to the whole planet. So that was a powerful moment. I laid on the ground, did some distance Reiki, and I could hear all the songs from all the people that were there. There was like 20,000, maybe more, working on creating new civilization, new paradigm, or the beginnings of it, right? Filming it all in real time. It was very intense. It was a powerful moment, and deep respects for anybody who went down there and assisted. So I heard the songs coming in while I was doing distant Reiki. It was all the different tribal songs, all the different Aboriginal, everything mixed. elders, ancient DNA, it was all intertwining, and it came all out at the same time. Went for about 10 minutes long. Like, whoa. So this is how wild it really gets, right? It's going to get real crazy, just in terms of the sensory activity that can take place. But the amount of purge that Mother Earth is going. Then after that, I started to realize this is all plasma. Whoa. But then that we're also manually changing it through light workers, through frequency holders, whatever you want to call ourselves. You know, at the end, we're past these terms, but it's fun to use them. You know, I'm Derek, right? So I'm the cosmic messenger, right? And I realized that our whole entire atmosphere has been altered. Same with our solar system has been massively reconfigured. But all these things in the end work out for our highest good. It really does. It's strange that way. Okay, so then level 3 Reiki came my way. So I moved out to Vancouver Island, met somebody out here, and I was initiated. So I found my teacher, found my attunement, wonderful being in my life. So I got Reiki level 3 done, both A and B. So there we go, reached practitioner status. And my crown chakra went boom through the roof. It was immense. And that's when major downloads, galactic cords were coming. Where's the solar system flying through now? Right, that has to do with the Aztec and the Mayan calendar. These big things were happening, and that we really are mutating. DNA upgrades and all sorts of templates, and understanding how they work. Getting readouts in the body of where physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual diseases are on all fronts. How wide you can see the auric field and all that just kind of kicked in. It was humongous. That day was beyond special and extremely powerful. So Reiki 3 just transported it to a whole nother dimension. Then when I would even hold crystals sometimes and put them on my skin, depending on which one it was. Not on my hand, but on everything else. Reiki comes through your hands. And played it on my body, it would be so intense that it would feel like it's melting through my skin. And in a beautiful way, I had to take it off. And for somebody like myself who wants to go to max, that's pretty intense. So, Reiki 3 is just opening up all fields. Meanwhile, at the same time, I decide, okay, it's time to go to Kundalini Yoga. You know, they play the gong too during class a lot of the time. At least the teacher I had did. So I got into Kundalini Yoga, and that just jacked that energy through the roof at a fast and rapid pace. And that opened up even more sensation, and even more fields, but also helped repair my nervous system as well too. Didn't realize that I needed these subtler details to be tweaked. Oh, I'm doing all this work, yeah, I'm good to go. No, you're not. It never stops. Especially if you're incarnating, it just keeps going. Throughout this entire experience, Pleiadian came first. My starseed home. The second one was Sirius. That came in through the Reiki 3 transmission. The one who initiated me brought that medicine in. The wolves, the dog star just kept coming. And number 3 was the last one, just a hint of it, just a hint, is the High Council from Arcturus. And then very recently through esoteric acupuncture, which we'll get into that in a sec, in came the medicine of Lyra. And that's where this all started from before it incarnated into there. Whoa, yeah, what the heck, eh? Get a load of that one and digest it. So then I got into numerology as well, and tarot kicked in as well too. And then affirmations as well. Affirmations have been extremely potent medicine for me. I watched them heal something physical on me while using the affirmation. So I had a quick video before, Louise, hey, you can heal your life, we'll get the ball rolling. So all these different modalities are coming in, reflexology's coming. Whoa, this is huge, this is amazing. So I'm having a blast. Then I meet my current partner, and there's esoteric acupuncture and Tamiana crystal healing, which works with Pleiadians. And then there is Tuina massage, and all this stuff is coming my way, and I am getting advanced templates being laid on myself, and we're just blasting them off. So the 144 avatar DNA codes are going through the roof. So, integrating a lot of that while I sleep, synchronicities are through the roof. Whoa, we're taking this to a whole nother level. It's like two people meeting that have already done the work. You still got to negotiate realities with no matter who you're with. But that said, it is so amazing to be meeting anybody who's understanding what divine anything really truly means. So it's just getting wilder and wilder. Then you realize there's multi-Earth. There is more than one Earth. There might be infinite of everything. But there is definitely multiple Earths. operating simultaneously in completely different dimensions. Then I read, also around this time, I'm reading Barbara Handclough, The Pleiadian Agenda, and that just cements it all down. Boom, we got the 9th dimensional template that we completed in 2012, and poof, here it is. Diamond, rainbow, crystalline bodies. What the heck? So that gets pretty intense. So that's kind of where I'm currently left off right now, and now I'm just swimming and enjoying blogging online. I have a Facebook page right now as we speak, and then I have galactic affirmations that I do on Twitter, and also incorporated with photonic key codes, and those are energy encoded transmissions as well, using Reiki to encode them. So I do those two, and then I have these videos here that I'm working on to assist anybody release this information. I was told by two, I think they're ascended masters in physical form, telling me that I need to do this writing. One was distance, one was right in my field. I've never met them before. They're like, you need to release this, just spit it out. So here I am, spitting it out. So I got those three things going, and then I do cosmic collages. So any artwork that you see on on my Facebook page specifically, that is myself doing. I do all of the work for my posts, and then I'm working on an art series as well too. So that's kind of a general field of where I come and where I'm at right now. Animal medicine lately has been through the roof, and I'm really falling in love with oracle cards and such. So a few that I've been enjoying, Sacred Rebels, and animal spirit decks as well too are amazing. So that said, that is a large portion of what I do, and here I am. So those are my moments. I've been tested really hardcore along the way. I had a huge 2-year period of understanding what it means to navigate as an adult completely alone, and what it really means to make a true friend. It's intense stuff, and these are wild, fantastical times. This system, in my opinion, one day is going to blow up and completely change. It cannot continue like this to be sustainable. In the grand scheme of incarnating and leaving your light body and being in the astral planes, it's all fine. It really is. However, these are wild, fantastical, super fun times, and it's a pleasure to be a part of it all. I'm just transmitting what is coming to me from the galactic core, as we are the closest we will ever be. As the sun goes on its orbit, it takes us about 225 million years to get to the center of our galaxy. So enjoy the stardust and all of these starseed transmissions that come your way, and the wild, fantastical times that you have are very special. Don't let anybody tell you any other way. They're unique to you, and stay true to yourself. They are very real. This isn't, all the fantasy is more the reality. Things are getting flipped on their axis points. Enjoy the mirror that is life, and may beautiful medicines come your way. Take care out there. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.